Bonjour class, bienvenue. Today's video is going to be quite short just because I want to go over the pronoun placement with direct and indirect object pronouns, especially since there are already some videos posted to review just direct and just indirect object pronouns. So I want to make sure that we talk about the specific order. So I have a little whiteboard up here. And so I'd like to talk about in what order you need to put these pronouns in per se. So excuse the writing because I'm drawing with my finger, so just bear with me. But the first thing that you're going to want to do is draw a little triangle. And so this is going to be our clue or our key on how to order specific pronouns. So the ones that are always going to go first are me, te, nous, and vous. So me, te, nous, and vous. And so now that we know that those ones are always going to go first, we're going to put those to the very far left of our triangle. So as our triangle gets smaller, that's how further into our sentence we get. So our subject is all the way on the left here, and then our verbs are all the way on the right. So the ones that always go first, me, te, nous, and vous. Next is le, la, les, and then l'apostrophe if you need it. Put that in parentheses. And then the ones that go last in our sentence so far are lui and leur. So those ones always go last in our sentence. And so I'll draw you a couple examples here. So now I've got a whole blank slate. Let's do a couple examples. Let's do my teacher gives me homework. So we've got ma prof. And I'm going to write it without our pronouns in there. Donne le devoir à moi. So this is a really long way to say it. So it's literally my teacher gives the homework to me. So we're going to end up replacing le devoir and à moi. And so we're going to replace le devoir, which is really simple to find out our object pronoun here because it has to be le. So I'll see if I can just change the color here. So it's going to be le, and then we're going to replace à moi with me because moi gives us a little clue as to what we should be replacing it with. And so now we're going to just bring down our subject. So we're going to write ma prof. And now we need to remember our triangle. The me needs to go first, so we're going to take that and bring it right on over here and write me. Now we need to take le and bring it down because that was in our second order. So me, le, and then our verb goes last. So donne. So ma prof me le donne. Let's do another example. So let's do a sentence with he gives the gift to her. So il donne le cadeau à, let's use a name. Let's do Sabine. So he gives the gift to Sabine. So in our sentence, we are going to end up replacing le cadeau and à Sabine. Le cadeau we're going to replace with le because our pronoun is already there. And Sabine we are going to replace with her. And her in French, her or him, is lui. So we're going to replace à Sabine with lui. Now let's write our sentence again. So we're going to bring our subject down. So il. Now we need to remember our triangle. So in our triangle, if you didn't remember, it was the me's, like the me, te, nous, vous, etc. Then it was the le's all the way down. And then it was the lui's, like lui and leur. So now we kind of have to keep the same order a little bit. And so le is going to be brought over here. And it's going to be il, le. And then next is lui. So we're going to take lui and bring it all the way down over here. And so it's going to be il, le, lui. And then the last part is our verb. Je le lui donne. So essentially our subject is saying he gives it to her. So it's a little bit backwards, but you kind of get the idea. Let's do one more example and then we'll end it there for today. So let's do an example of he gives the let's do an easier word. Let's do he gives the books to them. So let's do L actually. We haven't done one with L. So L donne. She gives the books, les livres, à, and then let's do the boys. À, or O, A-U-X, garçon. So she gives the books to the boys. So we've got the books and then to the boys there. So we're going to end up replacing les livres with les, and au garçon is going to be replaced with leur because it's them. So we're going to just write our sentence again, and so we're going to bring our subject down, and it's going to be elle. Now remember your word order and everything that it went in. Les comes next. So les, then leur, and then your verb. So it becomes elle, les, leur, donne. So our verb just gets put at the very end. We have our subject at the beginning and then our pronouns there too. Let's do one with two verbs. I know we didn't do one with two verbs yet, so let's make sure we get one with two verbs in. Let's say that we are going to read the books to the class. So we is nous. Allons are going. Lire, read. Les livres, the books. À la classe. So we are going to read the books to the class. We are going to end up replacing les livres and à la classe. Les livres is pretty simple. We're going to replace les livres with les. And then à la classe is lui because it's one person. I guess if we're talking about just the class. If you wanted to say that you were talking to like the whole class as one person, then you could say leur. So I guess in this case, we'll use leur instead. So we're going to take our subject, bring our subject down. So it's nous. Now we have two verbs, and when we had two verbs, remember that they go in between the two verbs like a sandwich. So we have nous allons. Remember the triangle. Les. Then leur. Then your verb. So nous allons les leur lire. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, don't forget to reach out to me. You do have a quiz coming up on this on the 15th. If you need help or if you need extra videos for some study tips or anything like that, let me know. I'd be happy to find some for you. À plus!